Hello, everyone.
Hello, beautiful people. How are you all doing? Isis Ra, I love you guys. Blake, Coach Kathy, Bharat, all of you guys. You guys are so amazing. And yes,
Um,
it's Siman's incarnation day. And as always, he's out of the frame.
I'll try to be more in the frame this
Yes, let's
time.
do that. Happy birthday,
Thank
Siman.
you.
We don't celebrate birthdays anymore, but you know what? It is just a day to honor people we love. It's a day to honor the ones that have come here who've gone through so much. And today I just feel like
Haven't we all gone through
my
so much?
God. And today is your special day. Allow it.
Honestly, being with EldoRa, our life feels like every day is my birthday. So I've stopped celebrating
Aww.
for that reason
That
because
is very
honestly,
sweet.
I'm not even exaggerating. Every day feels like
Aww.
a celebration.
And
And
honestly, that I would second that. Honestly, guys, we met 10 or 11 years ago, and you guys know our story. We were completely in 3D, and our meeting triggered our awakening. It triggered so much in us. And we are baffled by how many levels there are to even love. We are baffled at how deep we have felt about each other, even since Croatia. We literally feel like, okay, there's no possible way that we can love each other anymore. And then boom, something happens, and the kind of closeness that we're
yeah,
experiencing right
honestly,
now
we're discovering deeper
is
and
at a
deeper
soul level.
layers of our love, respect, and the list goes on
I
for
think
each other.
respect, yes. And you
Yeah,
know what we really, really feel like? And this is my honest blessing, it's my honest wish. Every time I tune into this, I always say a prayer because humanity just needs love to heal. And when you have love, when you're connected with love, it heals everything. And for a long time, I didn't realize this, but for a long time, I was holding on to guilt that I have this kind of love. And I recently, believe it or not, I uncovered it. And always guilt is self sabotage. And I let it go. And I said, I don't need to hold any guilt for manifesting this kind of love. Instead, I'm always, and I want you guys to know this, I am always saying prayers for
yeah.
all of our soul family, for all of humanity, for all light workers on the planet, even for all those who are unconscious on the planet to experience love. Because you know what? Love heals everything.
And never hold any guilt because honestly, those who have it good, those of you who are in a good place in your life and things are working well for you, you're doing the greatest service to humanity just by living your highest, most joyous, most fulfilling, most authentic life, because you're creating the templates and the patterns and sending it to the grids of the earth for the rest of humanity to follow. So our blessings are our gifts to humanity. So never feel any burden that my life is so good, I wish others had this too, because you're supposed to have the life of bliss. You're
Yes.
supposed to live heaven on earth, and that's the main reason we all incarnate here.
I know.
And I
And
feel
honestly, I'm feeling you guys. Listen, I'm not a crybaby in life, okay? It's just that when we go online, we literally feel all of your love. My God, our soul family is something else. Our soul family, I don't know of any other soul family on planet Earth that has this kind of love, this kind of bond, this kind of trust, this kind of respect. And if you guys feel this just through YouTube, wait till you guys actually meet each other, like your soul family at our events.
yeah, exactly. When
It's
we
next
come
level,
together at New
guys.
Earth Music Festival, it's like we're in New Earth because of the vibration we're all holding and for the love we all feel for each other.
And I
It's
and I
truly
love how you
something.
said we're in New Earth because that's really what we're doing. We're with every single event, we're actually bringing down the frequencies of 5D New Earth and then putting a bunch of light workers, 150 of us together in those frequencies. Because guess what? Those frequencies are so addictive. Those frequencies are like a high, a bliss that you can experience even on drugs. And they're so addictive that that addiction, that feeling, that frequency will magnetize us to New Earth because we are the creators. We are the ascending tribes. We are the pioneers. I've told you guys this and I mean every word of it. We are the ones who are here to plant the seeds of 5D consciousness because so far it hasn't happened. There are many 4D communities. There are no 5D communities that I know of because 5D communities need 5D leaders. 5D communities need 5D audiences, members like you guys. You guys, we're doing the work, we're doing the shadow work, we're doing the hard work. And honestly, guys, seriously, 5D is like, whenever I tune into this frequency of 5D New Earth, and I see all of us longing for this sense of community to live together. You know, I went to this amazing freaking restaurant in Austin a few days ago. It's called Casa de Luz or Casa something, right?
Casa de Luz.
Casa de Luz. And many of you guys recommended we go there. We are in love. It's the only place in Austin that has our heart. It is amazing. Like, we have been there a few times already. So it's like New Earth. You walk in, there's no menu. They make one meal for breakfast, one meal for lunch, one meal for dinner. And it's not just any meal, it's Ayurvedic, organic, vegan. Their water on tap is literally
Distilled, filtered,
activated water,
and activated.
fluoride free. Okay. And then they have this whole big fridge, like this refrigerator full of the most amazing vegan treats. It literally, and it's quiet, it's calm, there's no noise. And then
Energy there is amazing.
Yeah, and then once you're done all your food, I find this very interesting. Siman does it for me, but you're supposed to go in and load up the dishwasher like true New Earth style. So it's like we're literally feeling like, finally, there's more places like this. And I said to Siman, when we start, I feel like Siman and I have the blueprints to build one of the first 5D communities on Earth. That's why we're here. That's one of our biggest soul missions that has been shown to us. And I always say to him that and I see it within the next 2 years. I've told you guys this before. I see it just around the corner. The way I see it is, as soon as Siman and I settle down, and I'm speaking very candidly with you guys right now, I'm speaking to Soul Family. When Siman and I settle down, we find our base, we find our anchor based on wherever spirit guides us to settle down and invest in our home. I literally feel like immediately the Office of Christ, that is our team that we work with, will move there. I feel like our immediate soul family will move there. All the NEMS members will move there. And guess what? Just like that, overnight, we're going to have a 5D community that's not just a 5D community, but the most thriving, the most pure, the most high frequency 5D community. And guess what? Instantly, there's going to be like supply and demand. Oh my God, I'm a healer. What do you do? Oh my God, I'm a tailor. I'm a seamstress. Oh, what do you do? I'm a vegan chef. What do you do? Oh my God, I grow organic vegetables. And all of us, it'll just be like an ecosystem. It'll be one of the most thriving ecosystems where it doesn't matter if you're 70 years old or 18 years old. We're all going to have a place in this community. We're all going to nurture this community of ours with our love, with our frequency, with our passion, with all the things that we have learned on our ascension path. And this is coming faster. If I had to take the wildest guess, it's not going to be more than 2 years from now. And even that is only because we may need 2 years to find that home and settle down and build our home. So guys, there's so much coming. Like, I see crystal temples. I see Metatron has already said to us that when you guys settle down, I will be channeling through you very powerful sacred geometry to build New Earth temples, New Earth
build a
pyramids where 200 of you can go in and meditate. You can do ceremonies. You can bring back the ceremonies from Atlantis and Egypt. So we have the blueprints of all of this. And I feel like it is
But you know what? None of this will be possible until we've harmonized our egos. One of the first things that we notice when we hold gatherings is that as soon as everyone comes into a high vibration in these New Earth gatherings, their shit comes up, like all their shadows come up. But our soul family is so high vibration that they've learned from our teachings, they've learned not to project. They've learned that anytime you're triggered, it's you. Anytime you're trying to make up a story about someone else, it's actually something within you that's bothering you. You're judging something within yourself. So we see this come up all the time, and our soul family is so high vibrational that you should see our events. It boggles our mind. It feels like we're like a psychologist. What do you call it? Psychiatrist convention. We're like, people are randomly going up to someone new and saying, "Hey, nice to meet you. I just wanted to let you know you triggered me yesterday." And then they're like, "What? I triggered you? I haven't even met you." And then they work through their issues. It's like amazing.
Because what they do is when they get triggered, they go back and say, why am I being triggered by this person? What within me is unhealed? So why is all this so important? Because to be a part of a 5D New Earth community, to be a part of our 5D New Earth community, like who do you want in your community? You want the highest vibing souls. You don't want drama. You don't want gossip. You don't want envy. You don't want projection. You just want safety. Think about it. What is 5D New Earth to you? When I think of 5D New Earth, I just feel like I just need a community
It's stable.
that's stable, that's safe, where children, animals, all of us can just roam around freely, where there's bonfires, where there's drum circles, where there's community kitchens. And I don't mean community kitchens that are like pathetic. If I'm building a New Earth community, you can expect my community kitchen to be fucking out of this
It's going to be
world.
6-star.
It's gonna have like a panoramic, like seriously, I have the vision. Like we're gonna have, and okay, this is another thing that I was shown to me. Imagine if many of you are chefs or into Ayurvedic and nutrition and yoga, you guys are going to be managing the kitchen, meaning there's going to be jobs, there's going to be tasks.
Everyone's going to bring their own skill sets and fit into
Yes.
place.
Yes.
So it's like a tapestry. We're all bringing a piece of the puzzle.
Yes. So guys, today's video is super spontaneous. We haven't planned, we haven't prepared, but the one thing we do know is that today we're bringing in the guides. We've already called them in, they're all here. We want this, so our intention in everything we do, our YouTube channel, for many of you who are new to our field, new to our space, we've been doing this for over 2.5 years now, fully guided. And everything we do has the fundamental intention of helping you thrive, helping you succeed in your soul's path, helping you to get from A to Z, knowing that your A is always moving, your Z is always moving. You're constantly moving in this time-space reality. And nothing gives us more joy, more fulfillment than to see you thrive into the abundant warriors that you are, into the magnetic souls of infinite bliss that you are. And all of this bliss is waiting for you. You just are on your journey. So our YouTube channel literally feels like our gift to all of you. And today's intention is to just channel. We will get to a point where we will just ask you guys for any random burning life situations that you might be navigating or questions you may have. So we'll just do some rapid fire answers from the guides. We may not be able to go in depth in today, but we'll see what happens. Siman is going to start off with a March energy update to show you guys why energies have been this way and what you can do to navigate it. While I was preparing in the last half an hour, we were setting our space and I was lighting some sage and all of that. I got like 4 or 5 pointers. Your guides are channeling through me. So I'm going to read out those messages that the guides came in. And I want to start off with an announcement. These are no new announcements, but just a reminder for those of you who missed the last update. There's a few quick updates. We have a brand new website and thank you guys all for so much love. You guys have poured us with so much love. There's so many messages on our private NEMS Discord and our Facebook and our Telegram saying, guys, we love your website. I do agree.
Honestly, I want to say one thing on my birthday is that
birthday.
I feel so blessed to have a soul family like all of you. And honestly, sometimes life on earth can be difficult, but one of the blessings I do this every day. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is just grab a blanket and sunbathe and just send gratitude from the depths of my heart for all the blessings in our life. And this soul family, you guys, our supporters, like your love is truly touching our hearts. And even not just you sending us love, but how we see in our communities, how you support each other, how you love each other. That was the intention from the bottom of our heart, to bring light workers together so we don't feel isolated anymore. So we have a support network. So we remember that we didn't come here to do this all by ourselves. We came here with our galactic family, and we love each other so dearly, so dearly. And you are our biggest blessing ever. So thank you for being in our lives.
Whew. I love you guys so much. Seriously, our soul family is the best. It's the best. It's the fucking best. So new website, definitely go check it out. EldoRa and Siman.love. So it's www. I love you guys. I see so many hearts. I just feel your energy so much today. So www.EldoRaandSiman.love. It feels so high vibrational, the website. So just go check it out. A reminder that we are on Instagram and Facebook now, where our guides have been telling us to be more active. So you can check us out on Instagram. We're at EldoRa Siman. A reminder that the Repair, Activate, and Program Your Markaba course that we offered in the very powerful 2/22/22 event last year. It's a very, very, very powerful event that we did, is on sale. It's on 50% off. We were planning on doing it from 3/3 to 4/4. So basically, you still have some time. This 50% deal expires on April 4th. It's usually 222, and right now it's 111. So you can check it out at www.eldoraandsiman.love/Merkaba, MERKABA. What else? Oh my God. And the most exciting announcement is that on the 25th and the 26th, it's already the 18th, it's coming. On the 25th and the 26th, we better
we
start.
We don't have time.
We are launching our Human to Superhuman series at the New Earth Mystery School, NEMS. And guess what? Our first event is how does guidance work? How to connect to your guides? How to channel your guides? What are the blocks to guidance? We're going to go deep. It's a 3.5-hour event on March 25th. It is available to gold members. And the very next day, on March 26th, we're going to be doing an activation. I have tears like making my face look all shiny. We have an activation on the 26th, which is basically us. We're going to be going into your light body and giving you some higher activations to activate.
Opening your channeling chakra, opening some guidance chakras, clear up your third eye.
Exactly. And for any of you guys, the newsletter went out yesterday. Yes, you guys are amazing. Bring a pendulum. You guys are going to need one of these. So for any of you who are planning to join us on the 25th and the 26th, and all of you are welcome. It's $88. You get both events and you get all past events of the New Earth Mystery School. Check it out at EldoRaandSiman.love. This Human to Superhuman series is pretty much going to go over for the next year or more. We're going to cover everything. And when I say everything, it's not just boring stuff.
Like A to Z of
I lose interest when things get boring. If things get very scientific and I'm like, okay, this is kind of boring. It has to make sense to me. It has to be quick. It has to be easy. It has to be fun. And most important, it has to change my life.
And it has to be practical.
It has to have impact. And we're all about that. So this is going to be a series, and we're starting off with guidance. So for those of you who are planning to attend, order these right away. This is a pendulum. You get them on Amazon for $20, $10, doesn't matter. Superhuman, Superwoman, Super Kids. I love that. Okay, so get your pendulums. Order them. The newsletter went out yesterday. You're going to need them for the course. So without further ado, let's get into some astrology and energy updates. Siman?
Yes, absolutely. So as we mentioned in our last update, March is full of astrological conjuncts. In most normal months, you'll be lucky if you see one astrological conjunction or two. But in March, there's 7, which makes March one of the most potent energetic vortices of the year. And I cannot I cannot state this enough. March is going to be a game changer. That was actually the title of our last video, and with good reason. And the reason it's a game changer is because there's so many things happening that I'm only planning to cover 2 that are relevant to this week. So I'm only going to catch you up to this week. But next week, there's a whole new shebang of things that are going to hit us.
March is supercharged.
But it's all good. It's all good. Okay. So March 21st is the equinox, as we all know. But this is no ordinary equinox. This is the equinox that is very rare, because on March 21st at 1:23 Eastern time. So first pay attention to the significance of the time. 1:23 Eastern on 3/21, which is March 21st. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. That's when equinox exactly occurs. So look at the balance in the numerology. 1:23, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So it's like a sequence going up and an exact sequence going down. What does that exactly mean, and how does that impact our life? So first of all, equinox is all about bringing back balance and order into our life. So as we mentioned last time, in the last 3 months of 2022, we had major hurdles. We had a major dark night of the soul. We were going through a lot of purging. There was global psychological warfare. There were entity attacks being reported. People were going through dark night of the soul, and we're really finding things challenging. We ourselves experienced so much shuffle, but all of this shuffle was there to create amplification in our vortex, so that we are prepared for 2023 energies. And that amplification, what it did was that anything that was not aligned in your soul's highest path was literally amplified and spun out of your vortex. So this equinox, you're going to be seeing things ending and new beginnings. You're going to be seeing themes of maybe like letting go of a job that you're being to let go of, or letting go of a relationship that's not resonating,
or an addiction,
or
a
even
bad
personal
habit.
changes. So much is coming in right now. Another thing that's happening is that astrologically, March 21st, the equinox is happening exactly at the same time as the new moon in Aries. That is a huge, rare conjunct. Okay. So new moon usually means new beginnings. It means the moon's amplification process has begun in a new cycle of the moon month. And we usually set intentions on the new moon so that we amplify them with the velocity of the moon, and bring more abundance into our life, bring more health into our life, bring more joy, bring more blessings into our life. Whatever are our personal intentions, it's good to align with them in the new moon energy. But when new moon happens in Aries, that's a supercharged new moon, because Aries is all about moving forward. Aries is that moving forward energy. Aries is like, if your projects have been stagnating, if you've been holding yourself back, if you've been going through healing, then all of this is now going to be behind you after March 21st, and you're going to be able to move forward. It's not going to feel like your feet are stuck in sticky molasses, and no matter how hard you try, you're constantly being pushed back, right? Can you guys relate to that? I feel many of us are feeling this way, that all of March, actually all of the first 3 months of the year until now have felt this way. It's felt like
2023 has been,
it's
yeah,
felt like such a mixture of energies. It's felt like one day we have like supercharged forward momentum. We're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna start my new project,
and the
then
next day is like,
the
where's my
next day is like,
spaceship?
what the fuck? I can't do anything. Suddenly my anxiety is coming up, my healing is coming up, I can't do it.
And Bharat is saying, it's so relevant what he's saying. It's a balance of the yin and the yang. It's a balance of the masculine and feminine.
High and low, exactly.
It's the feminine wants to rest and relax and paint and cook,
Yeah.
and the masculine wants to build websites and go out and complete projects.
Exactly.
And this is what's happening.
Exactly. Another thing that's happening, so new moon, Aries, equinox, this is all very good news. But what we're also seeing is that this forward momentum is not just forward momentum towards what you want to create. It's also forward momentum towards the negative. Okay. So have you done your homework? Have you paid attention to your inner messages? Have you listened to your guides and lie still on the couch and feel those yucky feelings that have been beckoning you, or are you trying to avoid them? If you have spent the last 3 months or 6 months diving deep into your feelings, if you have spent these months looking at what needs to be reorganized in your life, if you have purged your excess baggage, if you have purged your bad habits, if you have let go of things that are no longer resonating, if you have made your communication clear with loved ones about your boundaries, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, then you've done your homework, and you're going to enter this equinox with nothing but forward momentum because you've cleared your shit. However, if you have been lying on the couch saying, I don't want to feel this, I don't want to feel this,
too painful,
it's too yucky,
it's too yucky,
why can't I just like go ahead and do my project? If you've been avoiding your feelings, if you've been avoiding your homework, if you've been avoiding all the things that life has been asking you to rearrange, but your ego says, I don't want to do that, then this equinox will also amplify those things that you've been avoiding. So 3 2 1 2 3 3 2 1, that's what this equinox is all about. If you've been on the upward ramp, you're going to fly. If you've been on the downward ramp, which means you've been avoiding your homework, then you're going to be faced with the homework you've been avoiding.
I'd love to know from you guys. Comment right now. We're on the live chat right here. For those of you watching, how many of you feel like you're on forward momentum, and how many of you feel like you're a bit on the backward momentum? No judgment. Forward, or should we say backward? Let's
Forward
see.
and
Forward
backward.
or backward?
High
Let's
and low.
see. Forward,
Yeah, you guys have been doing the
forward.
work.
What? Everybody's definitely forward. Fuck
Amazing.
yes. Amazing.
See, we're all on the same train.
Oh,
But at the same time,
I don't look at the forwards.
at the same time, everybody is excited about being forward. But if you are in the
Backward,
category
that's
that
fine.
you still have to do some work, there's a
Mixed.
very important message for you.
Yes.
There's a very important message for you. If you still have homework to do, then that is the first step.
And that's your forward momentum.
And we'll get into that
Actually,
later on in the
just
energy
feel into
update.
it. Just feel into it. If you are having a backward moment, I'm seeing 100 like a forward, and there's a few backwards and a few mix of both. Really understand that there's no such thing as backward, because every
Exactly.
4 steps you take forward, the ascension descension cycles work that you will end up taking 1 or 2 steps back to process.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going like this. It happens to Siman and me all the time, and then we're like this.
Exactly.
And then woo, we're going again, and then
usually,
we're going back, and that's fine.
Usually, what happens is that
No, you don't ever get done with homework. You never get done.
We never
with
get done with homework.
That's
because
a good
there's
thing.
always evolution. But usually, people label homework or these processing of these yucky, difficult feelings or difficult situations in our life. People usually label that as something bad or negative, because they consider that as this is getting in my way of progress, so I don't want to deal with this. However, your guides are saying this is the most important work that you have to deal with, because if you don't look into your alignment, if you don't fully align yourself to your true soul's path, if you don't really take time to be introverted and go into introspection, go into silence, go into asking your soul why. Let's say you want to do a big project, but have you ever asked your soul why? Are you doing that big project just because you're trying to survive?
Or you're trying to please someone, or you're trying to prove your self-worth to yourself? Or is it divinely aligned?
Exactly.
This is the most important question.
Your alignment has to be 100% before you're
divine.
allowed to move forward.
Yes.
So really look into that.
Ego alignments will not be allowed in these new energies. Let me rephrase. Egoic alignments can only go so far, but we are going all the way. This is why I'm saying to you, no ego will be allowed in this vortex. And I'm doing this for you. Why? Because your ego cannot go past 4D. You cannot take your ego with you to 5D. You literally, your soul can't pass through the 5D threshold with any form of negative
stories.
ego. Any stories of I'm not worth it, I'm this, I'm incapable, I'm old, I'm frail. None of that shit.
You have to go to the root cause.
And for some reason, this is coming through. So I'm going to share a personal example of how Siman and I look at everything in our lives as a blessing. 3 days after coming to Austin, so many of you guys know the story. We used to live in Canada, and now our Canadian driver's license has expired, and we're not going back to Canada yet because it doesn't feel safe or uplifting for us. We've been away from Canada for 2.5 years, traveling the world, doing land healing. Spirit has been telling us where to go, and we've been following. 3 or 4 days after coming to Austin, Siman's literally, he was going to pay for parking, and he left his wallet on the passenger seat, which is the dumbest thing to do, but don't get me started on that, because it was divinely aligned. He went upstairs, he paid, he came home, and he's like, baby, my wallet. I'm like, whoa, calm down. What has happened? And he's like, I lost my wallet. And I'm like, please tell me that the credit cards, because we have 4 or 5 credit cards, and if those are stolen, we're fucked.
Those are our lifeline.
Because we have to go back to Canada to get new ones. So he says, no, I have all my credit cards, but my driver's license was in the old one and it's gone. Immediately, we got a message. Immediately. And now here's the thing. Our Canadian driver's license has expired. This was our Mexican driver's license that was stolen, and our Canadian license. What does that mean? That Siman cannot drive anymore. That has slapped his ego so hard. And I'm loving ragging him a lot.
I'm not used to sitting in the driver's seat. And these days, EldoRa's like that whiz kid driving. She's like zooming through the highways, and I'm like, I feel so disabled. I used to do this.
Shit is coming up. Oh my God. And the best part is, now that I see his shit coming up, I'm teasing him all the time. I'm like, here, come sit like my little girl. Sit like my little girl next to me. And so we're having fun about it.
So
but guess what?
I'm the girlfriend these days.
And the best part is, I can see as I'm driving all his judgments coming up.
Hey, I don't judge you.
I
just tell you not to kill us sometimes.
So anyway,
I want to live.
So he has to sit down by my side. If he has to go to the gym, he needs an Uber or he needs me. This is like really bringing up his yucky feelings of, oh my God. And I'm like, come on, get in the driver's seat. And so it literally feels like, now why is this so aligned? We're celebrating this. So this is guys, this is so
This is the
important.
prime example.
Okay.
This is happening to many of
For
us.
the last, so before meeting Siman, I've been so in my power, masculine, like, oh, driving, I could do anything. I traveled to Africa, like to Nairobi when I was 18 alone. And I was like, I didn't care what anybody thought. But ever since I met Siman 10 years ago, I completely morphed into my feminine girl receptive state, which I didn't have before that. So before meeting Siman, so I met Siman when I was 34. I'm 44 now. So I met him when I was 33, let's say. And before him, I was all in my power, like masculine. And many of you are going through this. Like I was like, I could run businesses. I was like A++ personality. And then after meeting him, I completely was like, you drive, I can't, so I went into the opposite. For the last 2.5 years, we've been traveling. We've gone to Mexico, Costa Rica. We've been living all over the world, as you guys know, London. And I haven't been driving. He's been driving. So now I have to drive. So this is also putting me back in the driver's seat of my own life. And I can tell you, it's been very activating to sit on that in the driver's seat and have Siman sit beside me.
So I've been so masculine for the last couple of years that
you should
my
see
homework
his face
is
when he sits beside me. He is so triggered.
I'm not triggered.
Oh my God.
I'm just getting used to it.
Fine.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've been so masculine for the last couple of years since I met her that now my homework is to be feminine, and my ego doesn't like that. And that's what's being asked of. So I'm not just telling you guys I'm eating my own dog food. I'm saying your ego's not going to like what life throws at you, but that's exactly your homework. Another lady came to New Earth Music Festival, Carlo, and it was her partner. And she said that she was going to lead a meditation soon. And what happened is she got a huge opportunity to lead a meditation with a big YouTube celebrity. And she was really looking forward to it. She was preparing it for it. And then some mishap happened where she banged her hand with a hammer or something during a construction project. And it disabled her right hand so bad that she literally felt like it was a psychic attack. She said, the dark's trying to hold me back. And I was about to jump into such a big timeline and it's a psychic attack and they're holding me back. And she showed me her hand at the festival. And I looked at her hand and I immediately just my eyes closed and guides started chiming in. And I started getting all these downloads. And I'm like, no, this was not a dark attack. This was not a psychic attack. This was your higher self. She's like, what? My higher self banged my own hand? Why would they do that? And I said, what does your right hand represent? Your right hand represents your masculine doing part, right? So the message for her was that she's been so masculine all her life that in order to, before she can proceed with this meditation project, what is meditation? It's not all about being in your head and being masculine. It's all about being yin.
And being feminine.
It's being feminine.
Being grounded.
Exactly. So I said the message coming in from your guides is that they literally had to smash your hand to make you realize that you need to stop and pause and breathe
slow down
and realign yourself and bring in more of your feminine energies. And when you can make peace with that, then all the doors will open up. You can't just be like tilted this way and want to move forward.
And as you're speaking, the message I'm also getting is that if something is divinely aligned, not because your ego thinks it's aligned, oh, this celebrity, but your higher self might say, this is not a celebrity. I don't know who this person is, but what I'm getting is this person's not even in their heart. This is what I'm getting. I don't even know who this person is. They're not in their heart. They're not even worth your time or energy. So when something does not work out, it just means it's not aligned or it's not time. So important.
Oh, just to finish the astrological update, one more thing that I wanted to cover is Saturn return.
Oh my God,
now,
yes.
I wanted to cover this in the last video, but I'm so glad we're doing these lives on a regular basis.
Especially on your birthday, we're covering it. I like this.
Yeah, exactly. So my guides for the last month were just screaming in my guidance, in my inner ear. They're like, Saturn return, Saturn return. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Like Saturn return, what is Saturn return, first of all, for those who are not astrologically adept? Saturn, the moment you're born, all the planets and stars have a certain configuration. So the moment you're born, all the planets of the of our solar system are in a particular position. Now, what happens is that the moment you're born, the position of Saturn is on the outer periphery of our solar system. So if Earth takes 1 year to go around the sun, Saturn takes approximately 27 years because it has a bigger orbit, right? So Saturn return is a very important conjunction in your astrological chart, because the moment you're born, Saturn is at a certain position. And then after 27 years, it comes back to the same position. So when you're between 27 to 33, that's when your Saturn return usually occurs. There can be some variations in the orbit.
And it's a major turning
And
point
it's a
in your
major
life.
turning point, because when you have your Saturn return, it means Saturn is all about karma and justice. It means you're about to reap the rewards of what you've done for the first 27 years of your life. So Saturn return is considered a very important conjunct by astrologers. But I said, when my guide said Saturn return, I said, oh, well, mine was in my mid-30s. Why are you telling me now? And then I was looking at some astrology dates and updates, and I realized that on March 7th, 2023, Saturn leaves Aquarius and enters Pisces for the first time in 30 years. So
say that again.
Saturn leaves the energy of Aquarius and enters the energy of Pisces for the first time in 30 years. So this is a huge Saturn return for the world.
Oh,
exactly,
that's
because
why
Saturn,
they've been saying it.
Saturn enters Pisces, and what the energy that this brings to Earth is completion of an old era, beginning of a new one, karmic deliverance, closing old loops, spiritual healing, reaping the benefits of your hard work. So let's go into this. Karmic deliverance, closing old loops. What does that mean? Karmic deliverance means everything that you have worked towards so far is now going to reap its rewards. However, if you have been avoiding, like we said, if you've been avoiding any of your karmic work, which really means your ego resistance, it's going to show up more and more and say, hey, this was your cutoff point. This is the year. You're kind of like going in overdrive. You're on borrowed time, but you better finish your homework
like
in
Siman,
2023.
You're going too much into your masculine, Siman. We're going to take away your driver's
Okay,
license so
let's
that you
move to
can
another
sit
example.
and just. No, I'm serious. You know, recently Siman actually said in one of the videos, he said, if you guys are used to doing things with your right hand, do it with your left. If you guys are extroverts, become introverts. Do opposite things. This is literally what's happening in our lives. I am driving.
Yeah.
This is not me. He is sitting in the passenger seat quietly.
So around this time, all of these energies are coming in right now, but they may manifest in your life over the next couple of months, because energy comes first and physical reality catches up later. So you will see one area of your life come to a natural end, and a new door will begin to open up for you this year. But this is going to happen faster for those who are working with their ego. And that really means another message coming in from the guides was that working with your ego means you have to do the things your ego does not like.
Yes.
You cannot always be downstream and say, I just want to eat ice cream all the time. You have to do the things your ego doesn't like. You have to push yourself forward. You have to sometimes get out of your comfort zone. Just like EldoRa's comfort zone was not driving, now it is driving. So my comfort zone was always being in that driving position. Now I have to be masculine. So I have to tame my ego. You have to tame your ego. And all of us have to do this homework together, because that's how we grow and that's how we merge with our higher self.
And always have this balance of the yin and yang. Not
Correct.
be too masculine, not be too feminine. You have to have both.
That's what equinox is all about. It's about balance.
It's about balance. So I'm going to go through these points quick. So as I was setting up the space with 20 minutes or so before going live, the guides literally showed me 5 messages, which I think somebody here definitely needs to hear, because they show me only the messages that you guys need to hear. So the first message that came in was, you guys are, and this we covered in the last one, we talked about how Chiron is the wounded healer. The comet Chiron right now is intersecting it's in conjunct with what, Jupiter?
Something like that.
And basically what's happening is that there's this push and pull between your forward momentum and your backward momentum, because all of your unhealed wounds are coming up to be examined. So basically the message word for word that channeled through me was, you are pushing through your human matrix and going into your soul matrix. So the first so many years of your life has been your human matrix. You've been learning communication. You've been going through trauma. You've been seeing what life on earth is like. You've been learning humility so that when you awaken, you don't get an ego and go more into power hungry, power starved, service to self people. Everything that has happened in your lives from the day you were born to today has been your human acclimatizing to earth and getting all of the tools, the tips, the even the frequencies of what it's like to be with a narcissist, what it's like to be broke, what it's like to be raped, what it's like to be abused, what it's like to be bullied, what it's like to be unloved, what it's like to be belittled by even your own families. So now your human matrix is wanting to push through and go through your soul matrix. Okay. So there's this shift happening. You're moving out of your human matrix and going into your soul matrix, which is now going to start looking like, I'll give you one example. So Sistara, who works with the Office of Christ, she works closely with us. She recently shared with us, and this is applicable for many of you. When I say you're pushing into your soul matrix, Sistara said, one of my dreams, EldoRa and Siman, is to lead meditations. But every single time I try to do that, every single time I try to record a meditation, all my shit comes up and my solar plexus literally feels like 100 million wires just bunched together. How many of you have had this sensation? When you're about to do something big, like make a speech or start a YouTube channel, or how many of you, like, let me know. It's this feeling of, I can't do it. And guys, this happened to me as well. So you know that recently I was guided by spirit to start DJing because Siman and I have the codes. I have one part of it, he has one part of it. So when we DJ, something magical happens. Yeah, everybody is feeling it. So when we DJ, we bring in the yin and the yang, and then something magical happens because we're transmitting these 5D twin flame codes, which is what humanity needs right now. That's why everything we do is together. EldoRa and Siman are together. My ego didn't like that initially when we joined channels. I'm like, I want my own channel. Like, I want my own Instagram. But our whole blueprint is based on us being EldoRa and Siman, Akhenaten and Nefertiti. Like, for some reason,
it's our soul contract.
It's our soul contract, which I love, by the way. Now I've tamed my ego. But where was I going with this? So let's talk about Sistara's example. Why is this happening to you guys? Some of you, the other day, Salaya from our soul family said, I want to make a website and I'm not in my power. Like, her own husband is a web designer, but she was not able to make her website or something. Why is this happening? You're moving out of your soul human matrix and moving into your soul matrix, right? So first of all, if your solar plexus is going into a knot, it means there is unresolved issues that are waiting to be healed. What are some of them? I am capable. Can you honestly say I am capable without feeling your body go, oh, when you say I am capable, when you say I am worthy, I am talented, or when you say I don't care about anybody else's opinion but my own, or when you say something like, hey, I'm not a perfectionist, I'm doing this for me. How many of you can honestly say these statements without feeling unresolved trauma coming in your body? So the first thing is you need to heal what is causing this solar plexus to tangle up. Failure fear, exactly. You've been blamed, you've been criticized, you've been constantly belittled by your own families. Why? Because you've taken on this contract, right? Good, Purnsha can say it. I love that. You've done a lot of work on yourself. And all of you are on the way. I am precious. I am worth it. So let me tell you what happened to me. This DJ story I was telling you about. At the Croatia New Earth Music Festival on New Year's Eve, we had a huge party planned where I was DJing with Siman. Siman's been DJing for 20 years. He's a pro DJ. And I can tell you that my debut was in Tulum at the New Earth Music Festival, Tulum, where the Ra child was born last year. And I was fine in Tulum. In Croatia, guys, 1 hour. So 7 o'clock was supposed to be the start of our party. At 6 p.m., I was doing like sound check and everything with Siman. I am not even joking. All my shit came up. And some of you were there. Like, there were 10 of our whole Office of Christ was there. And there was a few other people there. They all witnessed this. All my shit came up. I was DJing with Siman, and in 5 minutes, I made like 50 mistakes. I looped the same song over and over again. I pressed the wrong buttons. I literally froze, and I didn't think I could do it. I was like, Siman, I cannot DJ today. He's like, there's no way. And I never have panic attacks, meaning I don't know what panic attack or anxiety means, because that's not something I have faced a lot of in my life. I'm very confident.
Very lucky.
I'm very lucky, very blessed. And that day, I could honestly say my whole body was twisted and I felt defeated. I felt like there's no way I can DJ. And I felt frustrated. Like I've been practicing all these months to DJ today, and I don't think I can do it. Saman has to do it. This is what I did. So first of all, I took deep breaths. The OC was there. They all helped me just om, om. So we cleared the energy. And you know what really helped me? When we went back to our room, Saman's like, baby, you can do it. I'm like, how can I do it? I just made 50 mistakes. I'm mixing it all wrong. How can I do it? I felt incapable of DJing. And the party was starting in 1 hour. I went back to my room. I showered. Even though I didn't need a shower again, I said, I'm just going to shower and cleanse my energy. And then I came outside and Saman had to go get something. So I had about 10 minutes to myself. I literally saw myself on YouTube talking to you guys. I literally saw myself in the eyes of you guys. I literally said, EldoRa, you're EldoRa. Like, you don't need to be scared. You're Isis.
It's just your soul family.
Yeah, how you guys look at me helped me heal. So I'm like, look at yourself from the eyes of, let's say, Miri, or let's say you look at yourself from the, like all of you guys who just love me, or Shane, my God. I looked at myself through your eyes and I'm like, of course I can do it. Of course I can do it. Because all of my burden came up of, I am not good enough. I am not capable. There's no way I can do this. And literally Isis came in for a quick second and said, EldoRa, remember who you are. When Isis came and I saw myself channeling Isis, which I do all the time, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going to go DJ now. Literally, boom, everything was gone. All of that just left me. For me, it was very quick, I have to say. I coached myself out of the situation.
You know why it's also quick for us? Because once you're on your soul's path, then you have added assistance from your guides. And when you're trying to work on yourself, your guides are just going to go all out for you. But if you're resisting, then the guidance stops.
So a few affirmations that came in were, I am capable. I am meant to do this. I now let go of the need for perfection. That was a big one. I was like, Saman is a perfect DJ. So you know how it felt like, let's say you're a brand new driver and you're driving on a really, really busy highway where cars are coming from everywhere. One of the reasons I was being guided to drive, which is why he lost his license, is because my spirit leaves my body often and I'm supposed to be in my body more. So when I'm DJing, I can't afford to look away for 1 second because DJing requires 100% presence. Driving, just like driving on a crazy highway. Once you do it for 10 years, you get used to it. But so all of this came up. And so your soul is pushing through your human matrix and showing you all your unresolved. Like for me, it was fear of failure. Like, what if I go and mess up the whole party? Fear. And I felt burden, like I can't do this. So clear the burden, clear the frustration. Don't give a shit. And you know what I said to myself? I'm not going to listen to Siman that I can't make any mistake because he's like, we're House of Ra. We don't make any mistakes. He really freaks me out a bit. Remember? He even told me this. He's like,
I don't make mistakes.
Because you've been DJing for 20 years. And you know what I said to myself?
Sorry, I won't pressure you.
I said, screw this. This is my soul family. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. It's fine. And boom, that energy just left me. So remember, I now let go of the burden that's holding me back. I let go of what others think of me. And one other thing you can do is see your solar plexus, because solar plexus is all about confidence. I love you too, Susan. I love you, Isis. See your solar plexus, which is just above your navel chakra, above or below? Above. Right. Feel it expand. So literally feel it expand. You can do this in your own time. Expand into a giant golden sun. It can be as wide. If you're really confident, my solar plexus is really big. It really depends on where you are in your stage. Sometimes it can be small and constricted. And bring in the sun. So think of the sun, our sun. Think of the sun in front of your solar plexus and feel its energy in your solar plexus, removing any dark, stale matter. You can do this right now. Like, feel the sun expanding your solar plexus. Feel the warmth of the sun swishing and swirling away anything that's no longer in alignment. Feel the blocks lifting off. Feel the gunk and the goo lifting off. And then bathe in the solar energy. So you guys can take yourself out in nature, literally lie down, expose your belly to the sun and absorb these sun codes. So literally solar bathe. So these things will help, and most importantly, address the root cause of what's causing you. So pause and realign, because when you're aligned, like our YouTube channel is aligned, which is why we can just come with no nerves and do this. If it was not aligned and we had some healing to do, it wouldn't be as aligned. So that's the next message. The second message, so the first message was you are pushing through your human matrix into your soul matrix. The second message is and Siman touched on this, what messages from last year have you been putting off? This is your own homework. What messages from last year that your guides have shared with you that you've known, you can't kid yourself, you can't kid us. You know what your homework is. What have you been putting off? You cannot put it off anymore. Right now, make your commitment right now. I'm not putting off my soul's path anymore. Because if you put it off, it doesn't go away. It just comes back stronger and heavier and harder, okay?
And I'll give you a quick list of things that people are usually putting off. Emotional resistance or disturbances. So emotional work, yucky feelings, you're avoiding them. You could be having clutter in your home, and that can cripple your creativity. If your house is a mess, you're not going to be able to thrive in your 5D life, because as within, so without. So your clutter in your home, clutter in your digital files or your inbox. If your computer is a whole mess, if you look at your desktop and you want to look away, then you need to organize your digital files. This is part of your spiritual work too.
This is part of your energy hygiene.
Exactly. Every layer of your life has to be in an not 100%, but I would say more or less organized. So if I ask you, hey, where's that file from last year where you got this guidance? You would know, okay, I can whip it up in a second. Then you know you're ready. Disorganized finances. If you're trying to start your 5D life and your finances are in shambles, if you're like constantly taking loans from people, you can't really move forward. You have to learn how to become stable with your finances. You have to learn how to save enough per month. You're not always living paycheck to paycheck, and you have to learn how to be able to generate an income and support yourself. And this is part of our curriculum. It's part of our ascension curriculum. That's why Earth is one of the toughest schools, because we come into this system of financial slavery and then we have to break out of it.
Yes.
So nobody said being an ascended master is easy. We all have to go through this financial freedom part. We have to master it. Stagnated physical systems. This is affecting a lot of us. Your bloodstreams may be full of, you may need to detox heavy metals. Heavy metals cause anxiety, depression, fogginess, brain fog. So you can't go forward with your plans when you have all this brain fog. You need to detox. You need to clean up your diet. You need to clean up your vessel so light can start pouring in and you can start finally listening to your guides. Limiting beliefs. Like EldoRa touched on this, if your parents have constantly programmed you for like 30, 40 years that you're not good enough, you can't do this, and that has gone deep into your cellular memory, then that's what you need to purge for first before moving forward with your soul's path. You cannot move forward when you still have limiting beliefs.
Yes.
And you know what the kicker is with limiting beliefs? What I found is that there are so many layers. People have been working on their limiting beliefs for 20 years and they think they're done. And then a new opportunity, the opportunity of their lifetime comes in front of them. And suddenly, because their heart's closed, they will suddenly say, no, I want to start something new. And I don't want to look at this.
And we're seeing this in our own
We
vortex.
see this a lot. We see this a lot. So if you have limiting beliefs about yourself, or if you have not fully opened your heart, if you're not fully aligned with your guidance,
your ego will
then
guide you,
your
misguide
ego will
you.
misguide you. And you will think it's your own guidance. Negative spiritual entities. That is a big one. We give entity removals very regularly in New Earth Mystery School, and that's something you guys can look into. And we really need to purge all the negative energies that are prompting us, because these entities can actually affect our decisions. So we need to educate ourselves and learn how to heal ourselves of these entities. Excess weight or baggage of any kind. And that means physical weight. It means
emotional weight,
clutter in your home, emotional weight, excess. If you have a habit to like hoard things and store excess things, if you're one of those doomsday kind of prophesizers that just wants to fill your freezers with endless amount of frozen goods.
Oh my God. Like, oh, what if tomorrow there's a famine? If you're like one of those hoarders, that's a problem. Why do I say that? Because you're living in fear. Your whole
Exactly.
matrix is based on maybe there will be a food shortage. So I'm going to buy 25 bags of rice and store it in my basement. Oh, no, no, no. 5D is all about trusting
And
that you are
surrender.
trusting, surrendering. And what if tomorrow you're asked by spirit to drop everything and go to Peru? Because that's where your soul needs to be. I can guarantee you, if you have 100 different things in your basement waiting for that famine or waiting for that food shortage crisis that everybody has been telling you about, you're going to be like, oh, no, 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 I have to finish all these bags of rice. I
And you have
can't
to
go.
understand that means you're constantly living in fear of something very bad happening. So you cannot move forward in your free flow 5D life. You cannot align with your soul if you're constantly living in fear and preparing for that fear.
And even our life, we literally went from a beautiful $1.5 million townhome in Toronto, where we had huge crystals and like luxury of every kind, because we love the electric blankets and the extra clothes. I had so many clothes and coats and jackets and North Face and all these crazy designer things. Not North Face, what is that? I forget, Canada Goose and all that. And when we got the guidance to leave and go, we took all of that stuff, dumped it in storage, donated half of it, and left. And we haven't gone back home to Toronto since. We've sold our home remotely, and now we live out of suitcase. Like, we literally have two suitcases of clothes. Everywhere we go, we get what we need. Like I bought this, I bought this. When I leave this timeline, I donate it. What that means is it's given us the opportunity to just be light and nimble.
We have
and
no
it's
tethers.
and it's the best feeling in the
And
world.
honestly,
We don't have a home, we love it. We don't have a mortgage, we don't have anything binding us to 3D anymore. We're free spirits. We can go anywhere we want.
Yeah, we're not suggesting that everybody should have a vagabond lifestyle like us. Like, we also want to be anchored. We also want to buy a land and build our dream home. That's our dream. But the main spiritual message behind all of this is that you cannot be tethered.
Yes.
You have to be able to, if you guys watched the movie by Robert De Niro and Al Pacino called Heat, that's one of my all-time favorites.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's a classic from the 90s where Robert De Niro's this, he's a gangster and he robs banks, and Al Pacino is
Don't tell us the full story,
the cop, and he goes after Robert De Niro. So really good acting, by the way.
Let's watch it.
And you know what? The iconic moment in that movie is when Robert De Niro and Al Pacino have a face-to-face meeting for the first time. He literally just pulls over Robert De Niro on the highway. He pulls on his cop sign and he says, hey, he knocks on his window. He's like, I know who you are. Let's go chat in the coffee shop. So they go to a coffee shop, and these like big powerhouses are having a face-to-face for the first time. And Robert De Niro says to Al Pacino, and this is etched in my memory, he's like, in my line of business, I have to be able to walk away from anything within 5 minutes flat. Otherwise, I cannot survive.
Yes.
And I'm telling you that you have to be able to walk away from anything in your life within 5 minutes, which means you cannot have spiritual attachment. You cannot be attached to your fridge and say, oh, I need to go to Peru. I need to take my fridge with me.
Or
That's
my
not
brand new
happen.
mattress. I just bought an orthopedic mattress. I'm channeling somebody here. What do I do with my mattress? Siman, that was very powerful. And literally, that's how we live our lives. We can walk away from anything other than each other. We can walk away from anything. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
We can walk away from anything other than each other. Literally. And that's how we live. Fridge goes where I go. You guys are hilarious. Okay, what else? Another message I got, which is point number 4, is, point number 3 is your higher self is wanting to merge with you. Now, your higher self merger doesn't happen overnight. It's not also a one-phase thing. You guys are already merging tremendously with your higher self. Since I met you 2 years ago, you guys have gone through leaps and bounds and huge strides in your ascension journey. Your higher self merger will happen at different levels. And the way it happens is that your higher self can go all the way up to the 12th dimension and higher. But what happens is that only the version of your higher self that's ready to merge with you now, based on how healed you are now, will merge with you. So some of you may be merging with your 5th dimensional selves or your 6th dimensional selves or your 7th. And slowly there'll be more and more and more and more higher self mergers. Now, your higher self is God. Your higher self is you in your godlike being, in your godlike state. Your higher self won't and cannot merge with you if you still have sticky emotions of, I am not beautiful, I don't like the way I look, I don't like the way my body sags, I'm not worth it. I'm not going to invest in my ascension. I'm not going to, if you don't invest in your happiness, if you don't invest in your ascension, if you don't invest in your soul's evolution and expansion, you're literally broadcasting the message, I am not worth it. I am not beautiful. I am living in lack. I am not abundant. And your higher self cannot vibrationally merge with someone who is not broadcasting the frequencies of I am radiant, I am beautiful, I am abundant, I am a magnet for miracles, I
And
believe in myself.
believing those statements from the depths of your core, not just
Yes,
saying it
yes.
superficially.
Yes. So
And
this,
that
and I
takes a
am
lot of
awesome.
work.
Exactly. So really, really tune into these things. And literally, we've been shown this very clearly. We've talked about this before, that the splitting of two worlds is a real thing. What's happening since COVID is that there's two worlds. There's a 3D world that's going deeper and deeper into chaos and control and the slave, like, slave game. And then there's the 5D world. What is the major difference between the 3D world and the 5D world that I see with my psychic eyes? The 5D world is the awakening world. The 5D world is the conscious world. The 5D world is the curious world, saying, we've been lied to. Our history books are all wrong. What can we possibly do right now to expand our soul matrix? What can we do to invest in our ascension? What courses can we take? What vortices can we visit? What retreats can we go to? What spiritual festivals can we go to? How can we connect with other light workers? There's this innate thirst that may be blocked in many of you due to cognitive dissonance, where you're not allowing yourself to come face to face with the fact that you're stagnating and you need to do something. You need to take action to move out of your own way. Like right now, I've told you about a huge course about guidance. Guidance is a game changer. If you have guidance and if you don't have guidance, one's a 3D way of living and one's a 5D way of living. Why? Siman and I go through life like we have so many forces guiding us on every little thing. Life becomes easy to navigate. We can go to USA, we have
many moving parts in our life. So navigating our life takes like a lot of guidance.
Huge.
We couldn't do it without our team of guides. They're literally orchestrating us from the higher realms.
So if you have like limiting beliefs saying, I can't spend $88 on myself, how is your higher self going to merge with you? And I don't mean this just for NEMS. This is just an example. If you have this limiting belief, like, I don't have time for myself, I can't go and do a full 3.5 hour event, I don't have time for myself, how's your higher self going to merge with you? Your higher self needs you to believe in yourself, invest in yourself, even consider yourself worthy of getting guidance. And that's what we're going to cover. So for everyone watching, this is an invitation to all of you, regardless of where you are in your guidance. We are master teachers, meaning we know how to cut right through your DNA and give you the lessons, the tools, the tips to move forward. And we do it with all our love. That is our secret ingredient, is our love. It's our intention. So everyone join us on March 25th and 26th. Join us. All you have to do is go to EldoRaSiman.love. Register for the gold membership, which is $88 a month, and order your pendulum, which we told you about in the beginning of the video. And literally after
Pendulums
this course,
are a game changer,
guys, after this course, your lives will change. Why? Because you will start, and not just that, I'm being guided to say something more. When you walk into this portal that we call the NEMS, the New Earth Mystery School, it is a portal. Magic happens. We weren't going to talk about this, but I feel very strongly to give you guys the most amazing magical story you guys have ever heard in your lives. Like literally, it's one of my favorite stories.
I'm glad you're bringing it up.
So Shane Booth is one of our Ascension students. He joined NEMS. He was completely broke. He literally said that $88 a month was a lot of money for me, but I'm feeling very inspired to share this. I'm glad we're talking about this. This is going to blow your minds. So he invested in, we didn't even know of this guy. He's watching our YouTube. He said, I'm just going to join NEMS as a gold member. And he felt this innate pull with us. He's like, I love EldoRa and Siman. I'm joining NEMS, even though it's hard for me. I don't have that 88, but I'm going to do it. He joined NEMS. Long story short, it's a very long story, but I'm going to cut through it and give you the most important pieces. He joined NEMS. He was brought forward in every NEMS, we see people on camera. So we saw him. We said, hey, come on, chat with us.
And his energy stood out to us.
He was highlighted
very
to us.
Visible.
Within a month of him joining NEMS, we saw his energy. And then somebody, all our Croatia guests donated $50 and gifted a free ticket. And we said, Shane, this ticket is for you. And he's like, what? He's like, I have literally prayed to be able to come to your Croatia festival. And he lives in Idaho in the States. Then he's like, how am I going to ever afford the ticket? How am I going to afford the ticket to go to Croatia from America? There's no way. Guess what? He says, hey, I have this junk car. What if I sell that car? In the meantime, get some money from my father. He borrowed money from his dad. He booked his tickets. He's like, now how am I going to afford the hotel? The hotel is like $200 a night. We have 6 nights. I don't have $1,200. Someone from our soul family, I think his name was Scott from NEMS, said, brother, I'm going to give you a double room. You guys, you can have it, and it comes with food. So your meals are taken care of. And Shane's like, what? I got a free ticket. Somehow I got money to go. I
Then
sold
his
my
passport
car.
was also expired.
And then his passport was expired. And he's like, Markaba, he's done our Markaba course.
And he had like literally 2 weeks to go.
2 weeks to go. And he's like, I don't know how, but I'm setting the strongest intention to go. And guess what? Somehow his passport worked out just in time. He got in the flight, he made it, and he ended up getting that free room that Scott had so lovingly donated to him. Fine. He came there. And this is the most exciting part. There's many exciting parts, but this is one. When he came, he was very heavy at the opening circle, and heavy as in emotional. And he said, guys, I would really appreciate it if the whole group sends healing to my sister. And he's like, I'm so sorry for bringing this up on such a momentous occasion, but I feel very heavy because she has stage 4 liver cancer or something like that. It was a terminal illness. Siman's, immediately we all sent healing. Siman sent healing. Even that night, I remember Siman sent healing. The whole group
I
sent
really
healing.
felt that.
He felt that because Shane's emotions were so pure. He went, this is not even the climax. He went back, and within 2 weeks, and I'm talking, she was like terminal illness. He jumped. His sister jumped with him. They literally, I don't know the exact details, and I'm going to put up a video of Shane's interview in a few days. But literally, he said all of the x-rays and whatnot, they came back clear, meaning she suddenly jumped. Her illness, like that powerful vortex, because our festival knew it.
We had actually programmed our crystal grid where we were doing all of our powerful shamanic work. We had programmed that crystal grid to send healing to Shane's sister. And when he went back, he's like, the doctors are dumbfounded because she was about to go into chemotherapy, and now they're discharging it to her to go home.
So he jumped and she jumped with him. Now, guess what? Now it gets even better. Shane had the most miraculous time. Everybody fell in love with him. He's an introvert. And guess what? In the festival, he was such an extrovert. Anytime we said, who wants to share? He's like, I want to share my breakthroughs and whatnot. Now get this. On the second last day after the Arcturian mothership dance party, we were all in a bonfire, and he saw this girl. He didn't make anything of it, but she went up to him and she said, I was sending you healing, your sister healing the whole time. And so he connected with her, like with his heart. Now, Shane was married. Okay, now it gets really juicy. He was married and he had 2 kids. And his whole matrix was that I can never divorce my wife, even though we're not happy. There's no way I can divorce my wife because we have 2 children. What are they going to do? What will people think?
They hadn't been happy with each other for a while.
They weren't happy with each other. So guess what? He saw this girl, and he always felt this connection with this girl, but he didn't think anything of it. He went back to his room, and that night, he got a message saying, do you remember last year you were told that in a year from now, you'll go to some event or something will happen?
Some spiritual event.
Where you
will meet your galactic family.
You'll meet your galactic family. So he was thinking a spaceship. But he literally said, guys, this soul family is my galactic family. Because the way he came online, and he had once had a dream, and all the dream said was Agnes. Agnes. And he's like, what is this Agnes? It's not even a name I'm familiar with.
He's like, I live in the States. Agnes is a European name. Like, who? I don't know any Agnes. Like, what is that?
Guess what? He went back, and that night of the bonfire, he kept saying, remember that dream, Agnes, Agnes? And he's like, wait a second. And he opened the Telegram chat of the group.
We have a private chat of all the people who are attending our festival. So he looked up that chat
and he's like, what's that girl's name? He literally went back and said, what's that girl's name? No. He was like that. That girl's name was Agnieszka, Agnesca. And he's like, oh my God. And the next day, literally, I have goosebumps, guys.
And he had already had like romantic feelings about her.
And the next day, it so happened that they both told each other that it was a very, very strong soul level pull. And then the festival got over, and Siman and I with the Office of Christ went to Old Town Dubrovnik just for a walk. The festival had ended. We just went for a dinner. Shane had programmed his Markaba that I really want to spend one day privately with EldoRa and Siman, and boom. We went there and we're like, hey, we're going for dinner, join us. And he said, this is Agnes, and I met her at the festival. And here, it doesn't end here, guys. He went back to Idaho, USA, with all of this, thinking, how am I going to tell my wife? Because he got crystal clear clarity that he had to leave his wife. He went back, he told his wife, and his wife said, you know what? This is in full alignment. You don't have to do anything. I'll even get the lawyers. I'll get all the appointments. 2 weeks after the New Earth Music Festival in Croatia, Shane was divorced.
And it was the easiest divorce ever.
And it's not,
He
that's
said
not
his
all.
wife fully cooperated.
And guess what? His wife fully cooperated. There was no negativity. And guess what? When we met him in Old Town Dubrovnik, Shane kept saying to us, guys, I don't know. I live in America. She's in Ireland. I don't know, like how. He was just like feeling like, I don't know. So 2 weeks after the festival, he got a divorce. And 1 week later, he went to Ireland and he spent 2 weeks with her. And he recorded we did an interview with him, which we'll upload in a few days on our YouTube channel so you can all watch. Shane's whole life has transformed based on one decision he made. If you can track it all the way back, he followed his ascension. He invested in himself. He said yes to himself. He didn't have money. He pretty much said to us, I was broke. But he says, I'm going to invest $88 a month in myself. And this is a true story.
And by the way, Shane and Agnieszka are very much in love and are dating now.
And he said...
And they make a very adorable couple.
And you'll see the picture. We'll put up the picture. They're beautiful. And he says, EldoRa and Siman, I have felt nothing like this. This is a pure soul level love.
Yeah, it's like one of those soulmate. You see them together, you just see their love glowing towards each other.
And guess what? When it's all aligned, the children are happier. So he had this big guilt. What am I going to do with my children? The children are happier. The wife is happier. He's happier. And now he's like, my guidance is going through the roof. I'm happier. It's like all his new timelines. So what did I say to you guys in the beginning? You're going out of your human matrix into your soul matrix. And exactly, what about the children? The children are happier. Children, okay, you guys need to hear this. For those of you who are living in pathetic, unhappy, sexless, loveless marriages or relationships just because of your children.
Or guilt towards your children.
I invite you to look at a different perspective. If you are not happy, your children, if you're not happy, if you're truly not happy and living the life of your dreams, what role models are you being for your children? You're literally telling them, hey, suck up your life, live for society, don't be happy, be a couch potato, be a pushover, be a doormat, because you know what, take abuse, don't speak your mind, just keep yourself in a box. You're giving your children the worst example by keeping yourself in an unhappy, sexless, lifeless, loveless marriage. So this is the opposite of what we teach. Ascension it all starts with you. Your ascension is about you focusing on your highest joy. And let me tell you, Siman and me, 10 years ago, 7 years ago, he was very activated. He was freaking channeling Metatron and I was completely asleep. I'm talking 10 years ago. Our guides told us very clearly that if you guys don't jump together, you guys will go vibrationally out of alignment. And we were madly in love from day one. It was like madly in love. I haven't felt that with my own son, with my own mother. I'm talking about soul level love. But the guide said, if you guys don't keep jumping, Siman, you're not waiting for EldoRa, and EldoRa, you're not waiting for Siman. You have to keep jumping. You have to. Otherwise, we will leave each other. If we don't go high together, we will leave each other. That's our contract.
Our soul contract is to constantly align and up level.
So I feel like there's been a lot of messages coming at you guys, and I really, really want you to absorb all of this and rewatch this video because there are so many golden nuggets. It's a transmission from your guides. It's a multi-dimensional transmission. There's 2 more messages they shared. One of it is that you are healing massive ancestral karma and trauma. So everything that is going on in your life, you're clearing it for your entire lineage. For your entire lineage. Be aware of that.
Yeah.
And like we said, feel your yucky emotions. Lie on the couch. Put your hand. Oh, this is another message very strongly coming in right now. How many of you here go through life without a break? I'm even talking to the Office of Christ here, okay? I know some of you are watching. Let's say you start your day and you go to Starbucks or whatever, you go get a coffee, you come back and you're like in this, you've got everybody else's energy in you. Do you start work right away? Do you start your project right away? So let's say you start work right away, then you have to go for something else. You have to go pick up your children. Do you just run to go pick up your children? Or between each different
Segment.
segment, do you take a 10-minute break? This is very important, guys. Do you take a 10-minute break where you close your room door or go out in nature, just solo, no phone, no technology, and you just lie down and you say, oh my God, I have so many people's energies in me. I just need to come back to me.
Hmm.
Siman and I do this all the
Multiple times a day.
time, all day, every day. We set this whole schedule. We were ready to do this live 3 hours ago, but we set 2:15 p.m. EST because for the last hour and a half, we were just in our own. I was upstairs, he was downstairs, just in our own energy. That's where the magic is. Yes, Susan,
If you
need
don't
to do
take
this.
breaks, then that means you're operating from your head. I'm saying this to Bharat because he said 0-minute breaks. If you're not taking breaks, then that means you're only nurturing your masculine side, which is always driving you forward, but you're not nurturing your feminine side. And your feminine wisdom is more, not nothing's more, but your feminine wisdom
Is where the magic
it's more
is.
important right now because we're ignoring it, but your
Yes.
feminine wisdom is as equal important as your masculine
Yes.
drive.
Yes.
So feminine wisdom comes when we just lie. Let's say you've been on the computer checking all your emails, 9 a.m. It's 11 a.m. and you're like, okay, I'm going to jump into my first meeting. You haven't had a break, right? Instead of that, why don't you go from 9 to 10:30 and say, I have half an hour before my meeting and I want to just clear my energy in this half an hour. That's my gift to myself. What will happen is that you'll clear the energy of those hundreds of people whose email you've just read. You'll move them out of your system and you'll just be an empty vessel.
Yes.
And then you'll start to tune in. It's not just you're meditating. You'll actually start getting guidance and you'll start tuning into the energy of what's about to come. Your guides, this is how they prepare you. This is how they hold your hand. But you have to give them a moment of stillness to even be able to guide you. It doesn't happen when we're constantly running. So you're lying down. What will start to happen is your energy will become clear. And then you'll see, oh, this meeting's coming up. Okay. You'll start tuning into that new person's energy on a spiritual level. You'll say, oh, that person's feeling a bit this way. I'm going to make today's meeting very light.
Yes.
We won't go into anything
you have a
heavy.
higher perspective.
You have a higher consciousness. You're bringing in more of your wisdom, more of your psychic, more of your telepathic abilities.
Yes.
You're tuned into the feelings of the other person. Then when you go into the meeting, you'll have so many fresh insights. You'll be exactly channeling to that moment, to that frequency of that person. You won't be so much in your head. So this is a game changer, guys.
Siman, that was priceless. And Bharat, when I read your field and many others like that, you're all head and you are a genius. I get it. But you need to get out of your head and come into your heart. And that is all we do in our festivals. People think, oh, what do we do? It's all about heart. Heart is a game changer. The heart why are you guys all here watching us? It's 1 hour, 17 minutes, because you guys feel the heart frequency. You feel the heart, and heart is the fifth dimension. It's all heart. So what Siman said, and if Siman and I didn't lie down in our separate spaces, we wouldn't have had all these nuggets to share with you. How are we so divinely guided that we give you exactly the messages you need to hear? How? Because we take space, and we're taking space multiple times a day.
Before this video, what did we do?
An hour and a half.
She went upstairs, I went downstairs, and we were just solo, just quiet. We weren't even on our laptops,
lying on the couch,
making notes. We were not doing any of that. We were just meditating in stillness
in our own space,
allowing light to permeate. And that light translates to all this
messages. All these messages I'm reading to you came in that time. And the last message that I got, and none of this is from my head. I didn't plan any of these. I'm telling you what your guides channeled to me when I was just lying in bed with the book beside me. Have a book beside you. That way you can write stuff that comes down. The last message, the fifth message that came in was, have you fully cut ties with your 3D tethers? Or are you still snooping on your ex-lovers, your mother who you've cut ties with, or your ex-friends in 3D who you used to hang out with, but you feel no resonance? Are you still snooping on their Facebook accounts to see, let's see, my life is so boring. Let me just go and see what they're doing. Because every time you do that, what you don't realize is you're imparting from your chakra, from your field, an energetic tether, an energetic cord that's going into their field, and then all of their energy starts transferring back to you, and then you keep yourself stuck in a lower vibrational reality. And right now, what the guides are asking me to remind you guys is that this universe is literally our reality here on earth is like a video game. There are many levels to the video game. There's level 3.8, which many of your 3D friends may be at level 3.5. There's no judgment. You were there a few years ago. So was I. You might be on level 4.2 of the video game. Now, every level of the video game will give you different perks, different accesses, different permissions, different challenges, different benefits, different levels of guidance. So you're always trying to go higher and higher. Now, if you're trying to go about this from a head perspective, you won't go far. You have to go about it in a grounded heart perspective. So remember that you're always trying to go through these video games. So if you're constantly looking at Facebook accounts and Instagram accounts of your exes or people you don't like, or even following people who are so in their head. Like we've tried to work with a few spiritual leaders, literally, and every time we email them, our assistant emails them, their response is all head. This is the pandemic on earth. I'm talking about famous YouTube leaders all over the world. We've contacted so many, and their response is like, okay, what is the agreement and what is the contract? And we're like, oh my God, we're trying to create new earth here. What? This is not what we see on YouTube. So it's all head. And this is what you guys have to focus on right now so much. Go from head to heart. And guys, there's a very powerful cord cutting, which I cannot emphasize. It's very powerful. So for those of you who are feeling sad and blaming yourself, like, oh, I don't have money, whatever, work on that. I'm saying this with all of your love. I want you to succeed. I want you to be abundant. I want you to have the lifestyle of your dreams. I want you to be able to afford all the things that you love.
Also, abundance works in this way that it's actually backwards for the mind.
Yes.
You think that abundance is first I will get money, then my abundance will explode. When I have money in my bank account, then I'm rich.
Right.
But it works the other way. The universe says first you invest in yourself, then we'll realize that you're giving yourself enough importance that the doors of abundance open up.
And that's what Shane did.
Exactly.
Shane is the classic example of that.
If you're investing in fast food and you're not investing in your ascension, then what signal are you sending to the universe that you're not ready yet? You have to choose yourself first, and then the universe opens the doors of abundance. And you literally, it's about faith. It's not about knowing all the steps. It's not about faith. Saying, first I'll get a job, then I'll save this much money, then I'll do this. It's about having faith and saying, now, this is what I need to do. I'm doing it as of today.
Even if I don't,
I'm not making any more excuses. And then the universe will open doors.
Even if I have to eat one meal a day, in order to focus on my ascension, I will. And I'm saying this to you as a master ascension guide right now.
We're already eating one meal a day.
I'm not bullshitting you. I am your biggest cheerleader. I'm your biggest supporter. I want you to thrive. I want you to come out of density. I want you to come out of victim consciousness. I am rooting for you. I want you to know that. And I know you feel it. So don't go into your own sob stories. Don't go into your ego stories. They're not serving you well. Drop them. There is a whole life waiting for you. There's a whole ecosystem waiting for you. There's a whole 5D community waiting for you. And guess who? Yeah, I can go on forever about this. So, wow, 1 minute and 1 hour and 22.
I wanted to share one message that it's on my t-shirts, one of my favorite t-shirts, not this one. It says, stop cheating on your future with your past. It's over. And that was the message my guides wanted to leave with you guys today. Stop cheating on your future with your past. Don't look back. Only look forward. Don't call your old friends. Don't check in on what you've left behind. Don't revisit old cords that you've already cut. Just focus on yourself. No distractions. When your children are pulling you into their drama, when your husband is pulling you into their drama, when your anyone in your life, if they're pulling you away from your path, then you have to remind yourself that I'm a tree trunk. I'm here. If I'm a pillar, then everything around me will revolve harmoniously. But if I'm like this and I'm trying to constantly move towards aligning other people and not focusing on my own alignment, then nothing will work in my life.
So cord cutting, if any of you is interested, is so amazing. The cord cutting is something that people go back to again and again. So like you guys have lifetime access to it. Those of you who've already bought it, go and do it again. Because every 6 months, if you do it, you'll be shocked at how many new cords are still attaching to your chakras. And when you have energetic cords and tethers, you feel stuck, you feel drained, you feel exhausted. So go back and revisit. Many of you, our Office of Christ recently redid the Markaba course, and they're glowing.
They're flying.
They're flying. So all of you who've already invested last year in the Markaba course, redo it. It's going to raise your vibration more than anything you can ever experience. If you've done our Merlin 144 event, do it again. Cord cutting, do it again. This is going to be the best thing you guys can do for yourselves right now. And for those of you who've not done it, enter our magical land. Literally go to our website. It's a world of magic awaits you. www.eldoraandsiman.love. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. See you guys soon. Thank you for joining our transmission. Thank you for sharing your energy with us. So much love. Bye, soul family.
See you soon.
See you soon. Bye now.